All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the first conversion call of February 2022. My name is John Marone. I am the CINC conversion specialist. Super excited to be here with you guys today and jam on what we always do, which is mindset first, skill set second. So I want to go ahead actually and shout some people out because you guys are dropping some wins down here. So we got Lindsay. What is going on, Lindsay? She's got 2 contracts in January. Marshall's recovering from ACL surgery and ready to get back out there. Love it. Jake has doubled down on CINC and started his own website and platform. Look at this, Josh. My man closed $585K in January. Still grinding with a smile. Closed my first sale. Closing our first deal this week. Let's go. All right. So, like I said, I want to just jam on some stuff with you. First off, if this is your guys' first time jumping into a conversion call, let me know. Let me know if this is your first time jumping a conversion call. If it is, make sure you guys keep coming back. As I always say, if you guys want to reach out to me outside of here, hit me up on Instagram. It's usually the easiest way, at Real John Marone. But look, here's what we want to dive into. I want to first bring out some results. I want to bring out some results from our last conversion day we did live. So we do a conversion day live once a month. We were in Vegas this past week, and the results were amazing, as always, but they're also so consistent, right? They're so consistent. So let me give you guys the numbers really quick. Let me see if I have them. So try to find the exact numbers, but the numbers kind of rounded out to about 65 people calling. Okay. So about 65 people calling, and out of the 65 people calling, we had a total of 101 set appointments in 1 hour. 1 hour of dialing, and we had 101 set appointments. Okay. And the most beautiful part about that, guys, is that we have a conversion rate from contact to appointment set at 33%. 33%. And now that's unheard of. We've done this though for the last 4.5 years, 8,000 agents. So what we're going to go over today is we're going to go over a very small piece of what we go over on these live sessions. And we're coming all across the US and some in Canada as well. So make sure you guys come check us out. I'll drop a link here in the end. But here's the reality situation, guys. 101 set appointments in 1 hour of dialing wasn't just because of the scripts, right? It's way bigger. It's way deeper than that. So I want to talk about 2 quick things. One that's kind of on my heart that I've been dealing with. And I think that maybe it could shine some light in for you guys. So I posted this on Instagram and Facebook the other day, and I'll kind of read it for you guys. Okay. So to give you guys a heads up, I've had 3 weeks, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, now it's about 3 weeks. We've had a baby boy. So we have a 4.5-year-old little girl, and now we have a baby boy. So nevertheless, things have been crazy, plus some other things going on. So I'll read this word for word just to kind of bring it to light, because the way I wrote it was in a place of needing to get off my chest. And so maybe it'll help you guys. So I've been so stressed, high anxiety, and overwhelmed lately. Have you been? If so, then maybe this will help you like it did me. So last several weeks, we have had so much going on, and the overwhelm, stress, and anxiety has been taking a toll while affecting all areas of my life. Then this week, I sat in silence, and this emotion and thought hit me like a ton of bricks. What was the emotion and thought, you ask? The things, this is in quotes, the things I have anxiety about, and I stress, and I'm overwhelmed, and maybe even complaining about, is the stuff that I used to beg and pray for. I used to sit there when I was broke, addicted, lost, and in jail and in a motel, and just wish my life was different. And I put the work in, and now I have so many things I used to dream of. And it was so eye-opening. I wanted to share this with you because I know so many other people may need the same awakening that I did. So what I just went over, will it eliminate stress? No. Will it eliminate anxiety? No. Will it eliminate being overwhelmed? No. But what it will do is help everyone have more gratitude to these problems, have more patience with the situation, and have the ability to change the perspective faster, which changes everything. So everything that we have going on, it's a lot, right? Yes, you only have the CINC logo. Yes. It's a lot, but a lot of good things, right? The things I used to pray for, right? The pool that we're going to put in, right? The houses, the cars, the investments, the businesses, all the things that I've always wanted. And, it just hit me like a ton of bricks with massive overwhelm, anxiety, and stress. And I found myself, just sitting there and really just, it was causing an issue with all areas of life, right? It wasn't as productive as I know I should have been. I was probably snippier than I probably needed to be. But I just got to ask you guys, are the things that maybe are creating stress, anxiety, and overwhelm to you right now, maybe that you're complaining about, not in a malicious way, but are they the things that maybe at one point you used to wish for or dream of or pray for? Drop into the chat. Yes, are the things that you're stressing about, overwhelmed about, have anxiety about maybe, are actually things that you used to pray for and wish for? And so hopefully that hits home for some of you guys today. I see a lot of yeses in there. When I sat back and I was sitting there in silence and I felt that and I saw that, it just made it on my heart to tell as many people as possible. So that's how I kind of wanted to start the call today, because I think honestly, we all feel that at some point in some time, and sitting in that gratitude will help us obviously create different action, different perspective. Right. All right. So let's jump into one other thing, which I want to jump into before we go into some live role play. I want to jump into the pitfalls of a real estate agent. We could probably do like a whole season of this. We could probably do like a 10-part series. So I won't get into like every pitfall, but look, we know what these pitfalls are. So if I could tell you what these pitfalls are, there's a chance that you are either in that right now or you can see it coming. The first pitfall, this is no particular order, but guys, make sure you guys, by the way, have pen and paper. Okay. Pen and paper. The first pitfall that you need to watch out for, maybe that you're in, I'll show you guys how to get out of it too, is where most people had maybe a really good January, right? Maybe you guys crushed it in January because you had these goals set and you're dominating it. And even if not, that's usually what happens. We get really good. We're making our dials. We're connecting with people. We're working these 4, 5, 6, 7 deals. Then all of a sudden those 4, 5, 6, 7 deals turn into only 2 or 3 closed. Now you're sitting there. You spent so much time, attention, and focus on these 5, 6, 7 deals that you forgot to do the things that got you those 5, 6, 7 deals working. You stopped hunting while you're eating, right? You stopped hunting while you're eating. The hunting needs to continue. I don't care how much you're eating. I don't care how many people you're working with. Find a way to continue to hunt. Prospecting must be a priority. The reason why most real estate agents go through these ebbs and flows in this roller coaster ride of commission is because they stop hunting while they're eating. Now, maybe your hunting doesn't look like the 2 hours a day, 4 days a week, like it did to get you those 7 deals, but you can't stop it. So maybe it's 1 hour a day, 4 days a week. I don't know what it needs to be, but you need to continue to hunt while you're eating, or you're going to be like the average real estate agent, which is living commission check by commission check and on this commission hamster wheel. So if you want to go ahead and create scalable, sustainable income, always be hunting while you're eating, always be prospecting while you're nurturing. It is the most crucial thing for any agent. We've seen it time and time and time again. You stop prospecting, because let's be honest, like working the client, sometimes that's the fun part, right? Like that's I'm getting so close. The prospecting part for a lot of you guys, you don't like it. It's not exciting. And so our brain is like, oh, go to this. This is better. What it's not doing is realizing that you need to continue to do the hard things, right? Continue to do the prospecting that got you those 7 deals. So don't fall into that huge pitfall of eating and stop hunting. Always be hunting. And may not look the same as it did to get you those 7, but you find a way. You find the time. Don't tell me you don't have the time, because I promise you, hear me out. If you're saying right now, but John, I don't have time. I get it. Time is definitely smaller, right? You don't have as much time, but you got time. If I sat there, if someone said they don't have enough time to dial, to prospect and nurture leads, one of these few things are happening. Guarantee I could find where you're spending too much time on social media that you could be dialing. I could probably find time where you need to be waking up earlier to take care of certain things so that you have time to dial. I could probably sit there and see where you have time to where you're doing probably lower dollar activities that can be delegated, right? I probably could sit there and for those that say they don't have time to prospect and see you not maximizing your minutes good enough. Hey, you're driving to show all these homes. You got a half hour of drive time. How many leads did you call? Did you call any leads in that half hour? Right? We call that windshield time. So if you guys want to not fall into the pitfall of commission hamster wheel and commission check by commission check, continue to hunt while you eat. Are you guys with me? Did you guys get some things to take away from this as far as not just that concept, but, oh man, maybe I do have enough time. Maybe I am spending too much time on social media. Maybe I need to start dialing while I'm driving. Maybe I do need to go ahead and, look at where I'm spending my time on lower dollar activities that I need to expand into higher dollar activities. Take an audit. That's number one. Number two, the other pitfall is routine. Your routine. The big pitfall in real estate agents is you guys become a slave to your profession, right? You become a slave to your profession. And it kind of goes back to the first part as far as your clients are running you all over town. Right? And in the market we're in right now too, it becomes almost frustrating to them as much as it is for you. But reality is you have no routine because you become a slave to your profession and you forgot to take care of you. So don't fall into the trap of stopping taking care of you, your mental health, your physical health, all because you got busy at work. All because your business got busy doesn't mean that taking care of you stops. Okay. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or yes, that makes sense. Just because your business is busy does not mean you stop taking care of you. Remember, everything is a byproduct off of you. Everything is an extension off of you. You are the source. You are the source. Okay. And then number three, I would look at is you have no accountability. Okay. You have no accountability. And so I don't know, where you're at in your life as far as what coaches you have or what your mentors you have or what your team leads are doing, but find people, guys, find people that are helping you elevate and challenging you, right? I see some people on this call right now. Stacy, what is going on? I know Stacy challenges the people that she's around, right? She holds them accountable, right? That's what makes people great, is that they have people who are challenging them to be great as well. So find someone to hold you accountable to the action steps that lead to the results. I'll say that one more time. This is sometimes a big deal for people. Find someone to hold you accountable to the actions, not the results. I don't want to hold Joshua accountable to the, 9 set appointments he's supposed to make this month. That's the result. But I want to know is, hey, what's going on with the 2 hours, 4 days a week action? Let me hold you accountable to that, because that's going to be the driver, right? That's the key performance indicator. All right. And the last thing, and then we'll get into some role play here, is so I was talking to a buddy of mine, Heath Evans. He won Super Bowl with the Saints and with the Patriots. And I was talking to Trent Shelton too, who's a good friend of mine, and kind of, he played some ball in college and in the NFL. And he also coaches a bunch of kids now. It's like actually his kids. And we're just chatting about what makes people different as far as like champions, right? What makes a champion different? And I'm curious in the chat to know what you guys think. What makes a champion a champion? If you were to say a few things, right? You drop one in there, that's fine. I'm just curious in your thoughts. If you were to look at a champion, what makes them a champion? Consistency, absolutely. What else? And I'll be honest, a lot of people don't get this piece I'm about to say, and that's okay. That's why it's a good awakening for some of us. Hard work, dedication, never give up, effort, drive, pursuit of mastery. There you go. Failure, never give up, love the grind, work ethic. All right, there you go. We got a few people that said it. It's practice, guys. All these things are right, by the way. Just to let you know, nobody's wrong here. Resilience, fall in love with the like all that stuff is right. But the one that most people miss is, and write this down, in order to play like a champ, I must practice like a champ. In order to play like a champ, I must practice like a champ. Now, why is this so important? It's because during our role play that we had in Vegas, and this is every time we do this, I walked around and I looked. And I saw people sitting down while role playing. Yet those are the same people that told me, well, I stand up when I make dials. Guys, if you are sitting down role playing, and then you stand up when you actually make your dials, you're not practicing like a champ. You're not practicing how you need to play. So your body and your subconscious mind doesn't understand what it looks like to win before you actually go out there and win. So don't tell me that you are practicing like a champ or you would have done things different on the phone. The way you do it on the practice field is the way you do it on the real field. The way you do it on role play is the way you need to be doing it on the dials. Don't give me the BS that, oh, I would have done it differently on the phone. Then show me, right? Then show me. Don't be the person that says, I would have done it differently if this. Why? What's the difference? Because you know that real money isn't being made? Well, just to let you know, what you do right here, right now, is a direct reflection on how you will do when you actually get in the ring, right? So just know, if you want to play like a champ, you need to start practicing like one. You need to start practicing like one. And you have that opportunity. You have that opportunity. Right? Hold yourself to a higher standard. Even if those around you don't want to hold themselves to a higher standard, you, Tammy, you, Alan, you, Jay, you, Lindsay, you, Jay, everybody on here, you, Debbie, you guys hold yourself to a higher standard. And the people are going to either rise up with you or fall next to you. And it's not your issue, your problem, your obligation to help them up or down at this point. You got to first take care of helping you up. Because once you get there, then you can truly help others. So guys, if you want to play like a champ, got to practice like one. So when you're role playing, you play it all out. Look, here's a very easy example. You probably heard stories about this before, but so if you look at two, I'll give you two. We'll give you a sports one and then we'll give the acting one. So on an acting one, if you talk to a lot of actors, when you say, hey, how'd you get into character? What do they say? Oh, I just showed up and it happened. Did they say that? Or do they say, I spent 6 months in character before I started? Right? Do they usually just show up and get into character, or do they spend months for big roles where they have to get into a character that's not like a normal character they're used to getting into? They take months getting into a prior. I mean, if you look at some of the people that unfortunately are not here anymore, it's because they got too deep into character, into some dark places, right? So if you look at the best actors in the world, actresses in the world, they get into character months prior, right? They go deep into character. And so when they show up on camera, they're already that person. It's subconsciously happening. They don't even need to act anymore because it's a part of who they are. You guys with me on that? It's so important to look at. And we idolize people. Oh my God, they did a killer job acting. Oh my, like what an incredible job in that role. They played that role before they even stepped foot in front of the camera, right? They immerse themselves into that character. Then you talk about athletes. Look at some of the, they were talking about Drew Brees and kind of what made him the best. So when you look at his side, and Brady does the same thing, but when you look at it, they go through progressions like it's actually happening. And what I mean by that is if you'll see quarterbacks out there before and after games is really where they start to master their craft, but when they're out there and they're playing it out, right? They drop back and they look to the left, they look at that receiver and that receiver. By the way, there's no receivers out there. It's just them in a field. And they're seeing that one and that one's called progressions. And they're acting like, okay, I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to go to this one. And they practice it. They call another play. All right, we're going to run this play. Then next thing you know, they step back and they act like that play's happening. Nobody's in the stands. Nobody's on the field. It's just them, and it's them getting into character. So when the time comes and that play is called, they know exactly what to do at a very subconscious level because they practice like a champ so they could play like a champ. So if we see the best of the best as actors and actresses immersing themselves into the character to make that character feel so real on camera, and we see the best athletes going ahead and immerse themselves in practicing like the game is actually happening, why is it any different for you and your real estate career and your income? And by all means, I mean, obviously, you know, everything you're trying to create financially. Is there any difference? Yes or no? In the chat, I'm just curious, is there any difference? Right? Is there any difference? There isn't. There's no difference. The difference is standard. That's it, guys. The difference is standard. They hold themselves to a higher standard. They know in order to show up on game day the best they can, in order to show up on that camera the best they can, it starts way, way before the whistle blows, way before the kickoff, way before action is said. Okay. You guys with me on that? Let me know if this hit home, any of the stuff we went over the first 20 minutes. I wanted to jam on some of this stuff. We could talk all day on it, but let me know if this stuff hit home. Because I think this is so important for so many of you guys. And, for us to kind of revisit this stuff is huge. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, love it. So who here? I'm going to lower this. I'm going to lower all the hands because I need them lowered. Got to find them first. Here we go. Okay, we're going to do some live role play. Okay, I'm going to lower all hands. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I want somebody who has, who wants to role play on a buy side, and is okay with, if you've used our scripts before, that'd be awesome, but doesn't make a difference. But someone that's willing to get feedback and take that feedback and put it into action. Who here wants to role play? If you want to role play, raise your hands and we'll get things going with you. Now, I'll try to get as many people as possible. We might only be able to do one or two, depending on how it goes. Boom, boom. All right. We got Stacy. Stacy, I'm going to unmute you, okay? In 3, 2, 1. Boom. Stacy, what is going on, girl?
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Amazing. So first off, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, like where your market is and how long you've been in real estate.
Sure. North Alabama. And our average price point here is like 170. And I have been in real estate 2 years. Became team lead about a year ago. And we had 3 agents at that point. We are now with 11 agents on our team.
Let's go. Look, and it's so funny because you're in 170. Josh Rumble and them, they're starting to increase, but even Kilby and them, and a few people where they're like, man, I just wish I was in Destin. Obviously, I'm in Destin, right? And our average price point is like 600, and you guys got to work way harder. And the reason why I bring that up is because that makes you guys so much, I feel like, hungrier, right? Because you got to put so much more work in. And I hear some people from other places that have, $1 million, 2 million price points, and they're selling 20 transactions. They're selling 20 homes. It's not so bad financially, where you're like, man, it takes me 40 to hit your 3.
Exactly.
So I love it. And you're always mastering your craft. You came to the last one in Atlanta we had, or was it maybe before that? When's the last time you were at our conversion day?
In the fall in Atlanta, and then last spring. I will be sending 4 of my teammates in February. Well, this month. But I'll have to miss because I'll be in Cabo.
You know what? I mean, it's a fair trade. You already been there. So you go to Cabo, you enjoy, and we'll train your team up. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So we are going to do a little role play here. It's going to be a regular old buyer lead, came in through CINC. I want you to give me a ring. We'll give some feedback, and then we'll break some things down. Does that work?
Sure.
All right. So give me a ring and let's go.
Okay. Ring.
Hello.
Good morning. This is Stacy with the home search site that you browse homes on. Just checking in to see if you're looking to make a move in the next few months or just browsing.
Yeah. Thank you for the call. We're just browsing now.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly what our site's for. So tell me, what prompted you to start browsing?
We're just looking to get into something bigger and want to see what was out there.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about what you're looking for.
I don't know. I mean, we definitely need more bedrooms.
Gotcha. So what do you currently have? How many bedrooms do you currently have?
Just 2.
Okay, gotcha. So what do you need those more bedrooms for? We got kids. What we need that space for?
Yeah, so we have 2 kids, and we have a lot of family that now visits us, and so we're just really crammed. We have nowhere to put them, and the kids are about at the age where they need their own rooms.
Okay, how old are they?
So we have a 4-year-old, and then we have a 7-year-old.
Boys or girls?
One of each.
Okay, yeah, then they definitely need their own space for sure, especially at that age. So let's see what we can do about that. So ideally, at least a 3 bedroom and maybe an extra space, maybe a basement, den, bonus space for family to visit. Would that work for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the family one is, and we want them close, but if we have separate quarters, I don't mind that either.
Okay, gotcha. So family lives away from where you're at now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, are you looking in the Huntsville area, kind of in the outskirts of that area? Where are you looking
Yeah,
area-wise?
probably Huntsville. I hear that it's also up and coming too. So if we get something I ever want to sell, I hear that it has a good chance to continue to go up in value.
Absolutely. It has grown to be the largest city in the state this year, and it is just continuing to grow. We've got a lot of industry just growing massively daily over there. Got a lot of new construction over in that area as well. So, hopefully it'll balance out so we've got enough homes for everybody. So let's just see what all we need to look for you. So, other than the bedrooms, what is important to you in that home?
We need a backyard for sure.
Okay, so room for the kids to play, or what all do you need in that backyard?
Kids play, dog to run around, and us to entertain.
What kind of dog?
She's a pit.
Oh, yeah, she's got to have some room for sure. All
Yeah,
right, and then a good place for the family, I guess, for some cookouts and stuff out there.
yeah, for sure. We're big people who love the grill, and we don't even have a space for that right now. So we want to get back to it.
Okay, all right, gotcha. Now, have you thought about what price point you'd like to be in?
Not yet. I haven't even gotten that far yet. I mean, I guess the 250 range.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And then, so let's go ahead and talk about your current situation. Are you currently renting or do you own the home that you're in now?
We are currently we own our home. We don't have to sell it. We might even just keep it. But yeah, we currently own.
Okay, so if you keep it, is that something you'd want to do as a rental maybe? Get you some income coming in?
Yeah, more than likely.
Okay, all right, gotcha. All right. And then now, is that in the Huntsville area or where is that home at?
Birmingham.
Okay, gotcha. So are you currently working in Huntsville or and making that commute or what's the situation there?
No, I work from home.
Okay, perfect. So y'all can go anywhere. So what draws you there to the Huntsville area?
We just love it. It's up and coming, and we my wife has some friends out there.
Okay, perfect. All right. So there's definitely some great outskirts area when you start talking about needing a good outdoor area. Right there in Huntsville, maybe a little bit harder for that space. But how far out from town are you willing to go?
I really don't know. Whatever you guys think. Once again, I'm kind of in the very beginning stages.
Okay.
Can you just send me some stuff and I see it, and if I like it, I'll just let you know.
Yeah. Here's what I'd love to do. Let me go ahead and check your email
Okay,
and make sure that I've got the correct email. So I've got John at sync.com. Is that correct?
that's correct.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and based on what we've talked about, I'll look for some properties and get those sent out to you. But in the meantime, what I would love to do is set up a time for me to meet your wife and yourself on Zoom so that I can make sure that we're not missing out on what she wants as well. And that will just help me narrow in more to what y'all are wanting. And then I can also send you some information about some of the outskirt areas. And that way you can tell me kind of how far out you're looking to go. And that will just make things easier. So is there some time for you and your wife to just jump on Zoom with me coming up soon?
I could ask her, and then just
Okay.
just get back to you.
Okay. All right. Now, so does she work right now or what's her schedule look like?
She's a stay-at-home mom, but she doesn't stay at home much.
I can understand that. Stay-at-home moms can be very busy, especially with kids that age. So, all right. Well, what I'd love to do is just go ahead and set a time for me to give you a call back. Today is Tuesday, so whatever today is, Monday. So if I could just give you a call back Wednesday at this same time, say 2 o'clock on Wednesday. And that way it'll give you time to talk with her and see what she's comfortable with. And that Zoom call, that would just be for us to kind of go over everything. And that way I'm not missing out on anything she really wants or that you think of at that point. So would that be okay if I give you a call back on Wednesday at 2?
Yeah. By that time, we should definitely know kind of what our situation is and when we can jump on a Zoom if possible.
Okay. All right. So we've got an edit app that I'm going to go ahead and shoot out to you. It'll just come through your text there. So if you get a chance, just download that, and you can also
A
share
what?
that with her
A
as
what
well.
app? A what?
It's the ETA app. It's ETTA,
What does
and
that
I
mean?
just sent it to you. You should have it on your phone right now.
What is this gonna like break my
It,
phone? What is an edit app? What is
no,
that?
no, no, no. It's going to tie right into the home search site that you're on that I called you through, and it will just make things easier to look on your phone. Do you like to do apps on your phone?
Candy Crush. That's about it.
That's an app. That's an app. But this one will just help you find that ride home a little easier. It'll help me help you. It'll tie right into, what you're looking at on your laptop. And this will just make it easier on your phone.
Okay.
And if you don't like it, just see if your wife likes it. She might like it a little bit better. And that's just one of those, just something to make it easier for you.
Okay.
So you should have that right there. And it just takes a couple of minutes to download and tie that in. And what that does is it allows properties to come straight to your phone, and it will alert you as soon as properties are hitting the market. And that's crucial right now because the market is hot for sellers. So that means that, as soon as they're hitting the market, a lot of times they're going under contract quickly. So the quicker we move, the better.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, we're in no rush. Just give you a heads up. We're in no rush.
Gotcha.
So, just if we see something we like, then obviously we could take a look at it and we'll figure that out, but we're definitely not in a rush.
Okay. And that's a great place to be. This will just give you an idea of what's out there. And that way you can go ahead and be making your list of what you love and what you don't like in a home. And that way we can narrow in and find that perfect home for you and your family so that y'all can have those family get-togethers in the backyard and let the dog run, the kids run, and then have a space for everybody in the house. How does that sound?
That works. Perfect.
All right. Well, I will give you a call back on Wednesday at 2. In the meantime, just look for that email that's coming your way with some properties, and I'm going to shoot you over my business card through text. That way you know who that you've been talking with.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
There you go. Good job, Stacy. Woohoo!
Thanks.
All right. So, I'll give you some feedback, but I mean, overall, it was really good, right? I mean, you've been to our class before, you've jumped in here plenty of times, so you understand the concept of it. You understand the intent behind the scripting and framework of it. So you did a lot of pieces that were great. I'm going to give you some small little takeaways that are going to make a huge difference. And I really want everybody to hear this because she did a great job. And if she changed these few little things, I'm telling you, it would have went a whole different way. And just let you know, it is so hard for me, guys, to not like act the way I normally would. So whenever somebody calls me, this is a side note, anybody calls me and is trying to quote unquote sell me something, I know how to grab control of the conversation. Right. And so I try not to do that with you or any kind of person I role play with. So if you guys are really good at that, don't do that when you role play, because not everybody's like us. If you understand how to go ahead and grab control over a conversation. But for you, Stacy, your opening line was awesome. The only small change I would say is have a little bit more energy, just a little bit more energy, right? And the energy, remember, isn't volume, right? Just be a little bit more excited.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the framework and the words were good, right? It wasn't exactly the opening line, but you hit the key components, right? You hit the key components. So very proud of you of that. The other part of it is that you were digging, right? You were saying, okay, so tell me more about that. You're like, okay, I said, I need something bigger, right? And instead of like trying to guess what bigger meant, you asked me for clarification. And that's huge, right? That's huge. And then you did what we always talk about, guys. What she did was she asked a what question, all right? And then she asked a why question. So what's bigger? Okay. And then she pulled information out, right? About my kids, right? And said, oh, yep, they'll definitely need some separate spaces. About my dog, And you could even played around with it more, Stacy, like as far as like talk more about him. Remember the house doesn't matter as much as the person.
Right.
And so I feel like you could have went deeper on having a normal conversation versus going back into the house stuff.
Okay.
Like you could have used your personality, and this is everybody could use your personality to create some kind of rapport, because you went right back into the house stuff way too fast. Right. Versus
Gotcha.
having fun with the conversation. You're a fun person. We've had many conversations, right? Like you are a fun person and you like to laugh, you like to make people laugh. You like to, actually have good conversations. So have it. It doesn't need to be about the house. Having the house is going to be sprinkled in there. Being about the house can be sprinkled in there. What do I do for a living?
Right. Right. Yeah. You gave me that you work from home, but I didn't dig into that.
Yep. And so I said I work from home, and then you kind of left it, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
do I have an office at home right now?
Right. You're going to need one.
Right. So it's like, so let's role play that out real quick. Tell me that you work from home.
Okay. So yeah, I work from home, so I can work from any location.
Man, that's amazing. Obviously working from home has its luxuries, depending on the situation. Do you currently have an office where you currently live?
No, I am sitting in my recliner right now, and that's kind of my office, and that kind of stinks.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit. So obviously having another house, another home with an office is beneficial, but what do you think that would allow you to do, having your own space to work from?
Well, it would probably bring sanity to my relationship with my spouse, because he's all the time having a fit about me working here in the living room. So that would really help. But I just haven't thought about that as being an option, with everything else we needed.
Yeah. And here's the thing. My goal is to make sure that the home we get you fits the lifestyle you're trying to create and checks as many boxes off as possible. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
So is it fair to say that having an office is a box you'd like to check off for multiple reasons?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. But so what just happened right there, right? I found out you don't have one at home. I found some pain. And remember,
Mhm.
Stacy, why do people make decisions? Pain or pleasure, right?
Yeah.
Pain or pleasure. And so we could have kept digging, but right there, that's all I need to know, right? And I'm going to come back to that later. So that's how I would have played it out. To stop and have that conversation. And then towards the end, you try to close me, right? You try to close me, set me up on a Zoom, which good job. You asked for the business. There's so many times where we hear people come on, they forget or don't forget, they get nervous or scared to ask for the business. And so you did, right? You did it. What I would have done though is give me a reason, right? And make it sound a little easier, right? So it's like, so, hey, the next step is super simple. We're going to jump on a quick Zoom call just to kind of show you our strategy, but also we're going to handpick some homes for you, and we can kind of walk you through those homes on why we picked them for you. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, the
Yeah.
next step in the process, it's super simple. We're going to jump on a Zoom because of this. Right.
Gotcha.
So someone said, repeat that. So it says, when you go for the close, it says, hey, okay, so the next step in a process is super simple. Those keywords, next step in the process, are super simple. Jump on a quick Zoom call. Jump on a quick Zoom call. And then we're just going to be able to show you kind of our strategy to make sure that we're getting you all the homes that check off all those boxes. And then we're also going to handpick some homes. So when we have our Zoom meeting, we're going to walk through these top 5 homes and why we chose them for you. And then we can kind of talk about that and make sure that we're all on the same page. Does that sound fair? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're going to say, yeah, sure. Right. Now, if they said no, like I did, remember what I said? Hey, look, I'm in the beginning stages right now. Right. I kind of kicked back. I was like, no. I gave you pushback.
Mm-hmm.
So the rebuttal to that, guys, is the clarity close. Okay. And it's simple, but it works so good. It goes like this. So I push back, say, just kind of send me stuff. I see something I like. Yeah, I'll just let you know. Hey, I totally get it. Look, I just want to make sure that you got the right person with the right strategy for the right time. Does that sound fair? All right, right person, pause, with the right strategy, or you can say skill sets. Those words you can mix up. That's fine. Right strategy for the right time. Does that sound fair? Yes, it does. Okay, perfect. So the part of the process is that we go ahead and meet face to face via Zoom, or if you guys are doing it face to face, is face to face somewhere in town. But for Zoom is usually easiest, right? For majority of locations. Then you jump right into the close. So when you use that clarity close, it gives you an opportunity for them to understand. You just want them to have clarity that they got that right person when that transaction actually happens. Doesn't need to be tomorrow, but when it does happen, you want to make sure that they have the confidence that they're working with the right person with the right skill set and right strategy. Okay. The last part I would say, well, last two parts. I told you, my wife, let me just talk to her. At that point, I would just try to set a tentative time. Right. So it's like, hey, I totally get it. I want to make sure that obviously she's aboard as well. Why don't we do this? Let's just set a tentative time. And look, if you guys can't make it, just let me know. But at least let's just get it on the books, get it on the calendar, and then we could always reschedule if needed. And just let me know if she can't make it. Does that work?
Yeah, and that's something that we've started using a little more. And like when I said, hey, let me go ahead and set us up time to talk in 2 days. At that point, what we've started doing is sending a text ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, just wanted to see if y'all were good, and maybe we could just turn this phone call into a Zoom so that we can get face to face and so we're just trying to flip it then. Is that a good idea, or
Well, let me
thoughts on
ask you,
that?
what's your ratio of turning it? What is it of them canceling, and then what is it of it turning into a Zoom?
So this is something that we've just started doing in the last few weeks. So don't
Okay.
have numbers on that yet. Just just had way too. We got tired of that. Hey, let me check with my spouse,
Mm-hmm.
and was trying to do something different with that.
So you're setting the tentative time, and then you're texting them like right before to see if they just want to do a Zoom.
Yeah, because we usually don't have a bit of trouble getting somebody to okay a set time for a call. It just seems like, that face to face or that Zoom is what we're still getting that pushback on. Let me check with my spouse on.
Mm.
So, what I said was, hey, set that time, and that's fine that they think it's a phone call, and then just try to turn it into, a couple hours before, just text them, remind them, hey, we're set for this time. Wanted to see if it was okay to go ahead and just send you out a Zoom invite for that instead of a phone call.
So
Is that
I don't know, because one thing we always talk about here at CINC is like, try it, right? Try it, but really track it. Don't try it unless you're going to track it, guys. You don't try anything unless you track it. But what I would say is, me personally, just kind of being where I'm at and hearing this would be, I wouldn't want to ask them that the day of or whatever the case is. I'd get them on the phone and say, hey guys, actually I got a few homes I want to run over with you. Do you guys, obviously we got some set time. Can we just do a quick Zoom real quick so I can share my screen? Does that work?
okay? Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Right. And so it's like, hey, if you don't want to get on camera, that's fine. You don't have to. If you're not fine, I'm going to get on camera so you can see my face. I did my makeup today, whatever, right, for you. Just have fun with it. But it's like, hey, actually, I want to share my screen with you. So do you have is it good for me to go ahead and just send you a link real quick so you can go ahead and tap into my screen and we can do a Zoom? If they're like, oh, no, here's the thing. If they say no, it's probably because, guys, they don't trust you. They don't trust you yet, which is fair, right? But they don't trust you yet because you haven't probably dug deep enough, because you haven't really added too much value. Like when you're asking me stuff, you only went one level deep, Stacy. That was the other part of it. Right? That was the other part. How many bedrooms? All right. So 3 or 4. Yeah, I definitely need 4 because of this. I would have followed up with, because now I have 2. I would first be like, man, 2 with 2 kids. Yeah, I think it's about time. I think it's about time. But so tell me, what would that mean for you to be able to have those 4 bedrooms? Then I would have been like, because you stopped, right? You stopped asking me why questions after the first why. But if you asked me, what would it mean for you? So you said, okay, why do you want 4 bedrooms? Well, because I need one for my, one for each of my kids, and then one for guests. And then you left it. I would have said, well, what would that mean for you to be able to have that? Well, it would be able to have my kids stop fighting all the time. My daughter have her own space, so she wouldn't call me a bad dad anymore. I want to make sure that my wife doesn't yell at me when we have really nowhere for her mom to sleep but the kids' room or the couch. So it would do wonders for our family and the healthiness of the environment. Like emotion, right? Emotion, but you don't get there unless you ask at least 2 whys deep on that, 3 whys, ideally. Does that make sense?
Okay. It does. It does. Thank you.
Yep. And my last suggestion is, and this is for everybody as well, is you set me up for what, 3 o'clock on Wednesday, whatever the heck it was.
Yeah.
Always set the exact time like you did, but also get it in the calendar.
I knew as soon as I hung up with you.
Yeah.
So John, let me ask you, do you use a Google Calendar?
Yeah, that's how I run my life.
Okay, perfect. So that's exactly what keeps me straight as well. So I'm going to go ahead and send that Google invite out to you. You should have it right now. Is that it? I'm hearing clicking through to you.
Yep.
All right. Do me a favor, just go ahead and click on accept there. That way it'll go ahead and be on your calendar and mine as well. And I look forward to talking with you on Wednesday at 3.
Boom. See, beautiful, right? What did I just do? Right, guys, listen, when Stacy just did that and she role played that out, she said, John, do you use a calendar to run your day? I said, yes. Okay. I just raised my hand. Then she said, hey, is this the best email for it? Yes. I raised my hand again, right? Hey, just hit accept so it pops up on both our calendars. Yeah, right. Again. And so I raised my hand 2, 3, almost 4 times saying, I will be there for the appointment. If you don't do that, there's a very good chance that they won't be there for one of 2 reasons. One is that they didn't raise their hand enough saying yes to the appointment, right? Maybe they raised it once. I want them to raise their hand as many times as possible. And then 2, like if you guys book an appointment with somebody that's busy and you don't send a calendar invite and they're not anywhere where they put it into their calendar, there's a very, very good chance they won't show up for your meeting, not because they didn't want to, but because they forgot and something else got booked over it. That's why it's so important to use that calendar invite, even for regular phone calls. Awesome. Stacy, any questions whatsoever? I appreciate you jumping in here, and big round of applause for, jumping into these waters and being coachable, which is the most beautiful part about it. And diving into fear, because no matter how many times you do it, there's always fear there, guys. There's always fear. Don't lie. I don't care.
Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate it.
Any questions you have?
No, I'm good. I needed that feedback. I've been the one giving the feedback way too much lately. So I needed to be able to get that coaching back to me.
I love the awareness that you just had, Stacey. Guys, everybody listen to what she just said. She's the one giving the feedback. And it's so great. It's so powerful. A lot of times when you give feedback, right, Stacey, you kind of feel it. But it's different when you can get in a room where somebody can have different eyes on it, right? And hear, because what we think we're saying, majority of the time, it's not what we're actually saying, or not how we're saying it. And it's not just, it's not just people who practice once in a while. That it happens to everybody. So I appreciate you, Stacy. Thank you so much. Continue to lead the way that you lead, be the human that you are. We love you. And thank you so much for participating, not just today, but all the time.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. All right, guys. So what'd you guys think of that role play session? What are some takeaways from that? Or what questions do you have that maybe came out of that? We got about 10 minutes. So I want to jam on some questions or takeaways that you guys had coming out of that. I'm trying to scroll through some stuff here. Let's see. Jake says, I find that even when I follow the script and ask what prompted them to start browsing, they tell me they're just browsing. And then oftentimes they don't tell me more. Not as easy a transition as Stacy made. Other times I get great combos, but we hang up. It's hard to get them out to look in person. So here's the thing, Jake. This is a great question, by the way. People that don't open up, you have 2 options, right? Well, first is identify. Are they not opening up because maybe your energy is not right? Maybe your excitement's not there. Maybe you're not saying what you think you're saying. I would identify those 3 things. Where's your energy? Where's your excitement? Right? Where's your confidence in that? And then are you truly saying the things that you think you're saying? Okay. Now let's go to if you are doing all that and they still won't open up, which sometimes that happens. It will definitely happen. You do one of 2 things. You A/B question them. That's number 1. Hey, look, Jake. So I just want to make sure that we're on the right track. I don't want to send you stuff that doesn't make sense. So what are you thinking? Like 3 or 4 bedrooms? Okay. A/B question them, guys. They're not opening up. A/B question them. Now, if they aren't opening up because they are like, why the hell are you asking me all these deep questions? Then you bring out the stat. hey, look, 86% of home buyers, they don't think their agent understands their problem. And to be honest, that's a problem. And because that is such an issue here at ABC Realty, we want to make sure that you have the best people in your corner and you have absolute confidence. And we're serving you at the highest level. And in order to serve you at the highest level, we got to ask these questions. And it's a part of our process that helps the transaction go so much smoother. Does that sound fair? Everybody's going to say yes. And if they don't, probably not want to work with them anyway. All right, so let's go through some stuff here. How do you send a calendar link? That you go into your Gmail. You can do it through CINC as well, but I do everything through Gmail. Go through your Gmail or Outlook, and you just do it right from there. Jessica says, great role play. Man, I need help with the nuts and bolts of Zoom, showing them properties and how to transition from there. We could probably go over like a whole thing of that. It's pretty simple as far as like navigating it, but the confidence is what I want to make sure you guys have. So we could probably go over that another day. So I don't know if we have enough time on that, but it's just, I would just start practicing, right, Jay? Like have your friend, have your spouse, have whoever jump on and start role playing a Zoom call with them. Is anybody here role playing a Zoom call? Has anybody role played a Zoom call? Say yes or no. Yes or no? Has anybody role played Zoom calls? I'm just going to sit back while it floods. Some of you guys can't see it because it's going just to me. So we have, I don't know, 50 people that have already said no, and 3 people said yes. Right? Think about that. Like, you need to practice that as well, so you have confidence. Here's the thing. Think about this. If you guys don't have confidence in a Zoom call, how do you expect to have confidence asking them to do a Zoom call? If you don't have confidence in doing the Zoom call, how do you expect to have confidence in asking them for the appointment on a Zoom call? Right? Doesn't make sense. But guess what? 95% of you said no, you don't do it. And it's so normal for us not to practice what is actually happening. Right? Like a buyer presentation. Are you role-playing buyer presentations? Door knocking. If you're out there door knocking, you better be role-playing door knocking. You better act like there's a door there and knock on it and do it. I think Steve and I did some door knocking role play and when we went to Detroit. That was fun. It's just a different type of role play. But yeah, you need to make sure that you do that, guys. You got to make sure if you're going to push somebody to do a Zoom call, you got to have the confidence you can do the Zoom call. So role play the Zoom call as well. Let's see. Okay, Jake says, is a Zoom call the only next step? Typically, I get all the info I need on the phone. Next step is to see homes in person. But then it becomes a struggle to get them out in person after an awesome phone call. Yeah, Jake. So the next logical step is a buyer consult. Thank you, Stacey. No matter how you get it. You want to teach this one? Because it's absolutely true, right? It's ideally you want to go face to face, Jake. 100%, dude. Like you want to be face to face, but it gets hard sometimes. So definitely Zoom would be the next step, if not. And it's just, making sure, hey, I just want to show you, go through our buyer strategy, right? Our buyer strategy versus consult, or if you want to use consult, that's fine. So we can make sure that you have confidence in the person that is going to be handling your biggest transaction and negotiating a deal for you. Is that fair? Get in front of one way or another. Eyes on eyes. That's what we want to try to get done. So here's a few quick things, guys, before we jump off here. Okay. Number one is if you want to come into a room with some other amazing CINC owners, okay, and you want to go ahead and start working on your business and not in your business. You want to get the tools on how to recruit, how to hire, how to manage, how to, go ahead and create more profitability, whatever it might be. We have our CINC mastermind. So there's qualifications, but we have our CINC mastermind. I'm going to drop it in here just so you guys can go ahead and click the link. And obviously once again, there's qualifications, but I will say this. The qualifications are flexible depending on the situation. So reach out to me. If you're like, John, I'm not hitting those qualifications, but I'm here. We can have a conversation about your situation. We're going to be in Lake Tahoe at the end of March. So the end of March, if you want to be in Lake Tahoe with some other CINC owners, remember, it has to be a CINC owner to make sure you guys book your spot for mastermind. The other two quick things is, if you guys look out, we are coming to a city near you. We are coming to, I think at 10 cities this year. So we'll be in, where are we going to be next week? Next month. I think we're going to be in Phoenix. We're going to be in Atlanta next 2 months. So make sure you guys check out our website so you can see us live. We do a conversion day that is a full day, day 3 from 9 a.m. to 4:30. And it is an amazing several hours. But we have a lot of fun. We learn a lot, we grow a lot. And in the end, hopefully we transform a lot. So if you guys need anything else, you have 2 options. You can reach out to me via Instagram at realjohnmarone, or you can go ahead and email me, john.marone@cincpro.com. So any questions, hit me up on Instagram at realjohnmarone. Message me, we could chat. If you have any situations that are going on you need help with, or john.marone@cincpro.com. We are here to help. We are here to serve. And really, guys, I really hope I see some of your amazing faces this year at one of our conferences, whether it's Mastermind or whether it's a CINC University, or maybe it's a summit, right? Somewhere, somehow, I hope I see you, hope we get to meet you, hope I could hear the story of how you transformed over the year. Last but not least, did you guys get value today? Drop it to the chat if you guys got some value. We want to make sure we're doing the right thing for everybody that jumps on here. Yes. Love it. Perfect. All right. Good, guys. Look, we are here once again. If you need us, just reach out to us, and make sure that you guys take what we learned today. You implement it. Then you come back in 2 weeks and you tell us how it went. You tell us what questions you had, tell us what roadblocks, what failures have occurred, because I guarantee you there will be, because failure is nothing but a process of elimination. It is a stepping stone to your success. So please reach out to us if you need anything. Please take action. And what I would like to leave with is that perspective of what we started today with, right? What we started today with. So don't fall into the pitfalls most real estate agents fall into. Be greater today than you were yesterday. Appreciate you guys. Go crush it. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.